Hey team, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'd like to go over our pre-market layout so everyone is well aware of these scanners and what exactly I'm looking to get out of each one of these scanners. So we're going to go from left to right. Of course, we've got the momentum high of day, which is going to let us know stocks that are reaching highs with momentum. Of course, we want to see volume paired with that. So the high of day momentum scanner is going to be just that. You're going to see it in green. And really, if you see any of these scanners in that green, you'll know that those are stocks making new highs. Next, we have the next to it, we have the Bullish Momentum Watch. This is going to be our volume scanner, and not just any volume, it's bullish momentum. We're looking for these type of stocks and names to possibly trade as they are bullish and moving in the right direction. Now, if I was a short seller, maybe I'd be looking for the opposite of this bullish momentum or looking for the peak of the move, but I am a bullish trader. I like to go long. I like to trade fast, get in, get green, and get out. This bullish momentum is that scanner to be watching. It's going to let us know where the volume is in the market at that time, and of course it's going to be yelling at us, and we do have multiple alerts. Some results may come up here, but we do have multiple alerts. We have low volume, high volume, and very high volume, and of course just normal volume as well. So each one of those alerts will come through with a description, brief description, just to let you know what we're looking at, what type of volume we're looking at: low volume, high volume, or what is that alert. To the right of that, we've got the Bullish Bob pre-market report card. This is a new scanner that we have that's available for our team. This is going to alert us of stocks, and it's going to give us a brief description of what that is and the potential of that type of move. Now, this is based on a algorithmic type of scanner and backtester that we're using to backtest all of these results as they come in. So as more results come in throughout the year, this scanner will mold and continue to change with us and with the market to really find that algorithmic type of spike. But the report card is just that. It's going to give us a brief description of the grade that we're looking for. So this is a C+ watch, maybe not as important to watch as then maybe a B or B+ watch, or even the A's, of course, right? So some of these come in as a high float scalp watch. That means it's higher float, and I want to be careful of that higher float as I deem that as a red flag. Can see 118 million share float, and I may want to just scalp that move if I see an opportunity there, but I don't want to overstay my welcome. So the idea behind the Bullish Bob report card here, especially in the pre-market, is it's supposed to identify the value in the market, but at the same time, it's going to, identify that value, but then let us know what kind of potential we have there. So for me personally, the way I look at this is, if I'm in one of those names, maybe it helps add conviction into if I want to hold for a longer term or not. Sometimes I may want to just sit back and not take the trade at all due to these conditions. If it's the high float scalp watch and I see it's a kind of a lower quality setup, maybe I'll sit that out. And this is supposed to notify me that and identify that immediately. So if I see, of course, that it's a cheapo high potential watch, well, that lets me know it's a cheaper price. So maybe I don't want to throw the kitchen sink at it, but it does have high potential. So maybe I want to hold a lotto after I get some green on that trade. But of course, there's no scanner here that I'm just going to trade blindly. So this is just to identify the value and give us a brief description of what that value is and what kind of algorithmic grade is being placed on that type of scenario. Below that, we have the high of day no float. So this one is designed, this is a newer scanner, and what this is for is to really go and find stocks that are gapping up in the pre-market session that may not have that float listed. Now, the only issue that we've seen with these scanners with trade ideas in the past is some stocks, when they do a reverse split, or with other conditions, sometimes the float may not be listed on or at trade ideas. And so we still want to be notified, especially if it is a low float. We'll check it elsewhere, in fact, check that float. But what we want to do is make sure that we are being aware of that type of move. So the idea behind this scanner is to still look for stocks that are gapping up in the pre-market session, but may not have a float attached to it. Now, I can't stop this from giving stocks that do have a float size in here. So we will get results with a float size in here. But if there's anything that moves without a float listed on trade ideas, it should generally as well hit this scanner if it's in play and possibly valuable. So looking for that, that's the scanner here. High of day, no float. Below that, we've got the Bullish Bob continuation watch. And this one is really important as well, because what this is doing is identifying that there's value there, but it's also letting me know that this is continuation. And so therefore, it may not give a bullish momentum type of trade because it may have gapped up and maybe there's recent bag holders. But what it's telling me is that it's toyed with a lot and it has a lot of volume, or it has a lot of percentage change in the last few days to week. So what that tells me is that it should be on watch for continuation. And maybe I want to quickly scalp these names, get in, get green, and get out before they go against me, or before I really become uncomfortable in the trade. So again, same thing here as the report card. This is to identify those setups and the value in the market. And you can see that it's color coded, and most of these are. So the yellows is on this scan up here is what we're looking for. This one I need to adjust still, so I may be adjusting the colors throughout the week. But what we're looking for on this one is the blue. So we're looking for that low float continuation watch. Those are going to be a little bit higher value than, say, our higher float continuation watch. But that being said, doesn't mean they're not all possibly in play for trading, but what it means is that this is our continuation watch, and some are going to be higher quality setups than possibly others. So we want to be aware of that, and that's what this is designed to do. Quickly let us know. And we can see this one here, float check continuation. Float check again, same thing. We may get some results in there with a float size, but often if there's something moving without a float size, it will also be alerted, so that way we don't miss out on the move. So Bullish Bob continuation watch, exactly that, looking for stocks that are continuing in the weekly and monthly time frame, and really looking for something that's it's not exactly fresh, it's not exactly new. There's a lot of traders that know about it. There's a lot of eyes on that position in that stock, and so again, it is continuation watch. So I want to adjust my approach knowing that. Below that, we've got the Bullish Bob Volume Hunter. So this is looking for 1 minute volume leaders in the market. And of course, there's going to be a whole list of those. And this is not a float listed stock or scanner either. And so therefore, we may get results that are higher float names. So make sure you are fact checking and seeing that float size to make sure you're not getting yourself into something a little too out of your wheelhouse, right? So I prefer low float stocks. So 1 minute volume, we're looking for leaders in 1 minute volume on this list. That's the Bullish Bob Volume Hunter. Bottom left, we've got the high of day low volume scanner. So typically this is going to alert us of names that are hitting highs with low volume. So they may not have that momentum type of volume that we're looking for, a momentum type of spike in price action. Maybe it's more of a lower volume move, but we still want to be aware of it, because what we can do is become prepared or get prepared there by marking the chart, finding the areas of value, and setting alerts at key levels after assessing those gaps. So the high of day low volume scanner is very important, as it's going to identify these stocks before they really start to pick up in volume and value. Next to that, we've got the volume spotter. Now this is a newer scanner as well that I'm still working on, but it's very similar to this bullish momentum watch, very similar. The only difference is I wouldn't exactly deem this volume as bullish momentum, right? So this is going to identify volume in the market, but it's not exactly bullish momentum. It's just volume. We want to be notified, again, get a little heads up so that we can be ready in case it starts hitting these more valuable scanners. Next to that, we've got the Cheapo Watch. Cheapo Watch is exactly what you're thinking. Stocks under $1, cheap stocks. So it's going to notify us and identify those stocks moving with high volume, and we're going to have a few different types of alerts in here. Now, if we ever see the pink, guys, and the pink is universal throughout all of these volume scanners, that means that there's high volume. So if we see the name is in pink or magenta, that means we're getting some high volume or very high volume, and that's exactly what we want to see see when trading stocks, as it's going to allow us to get in and out with a decent size. And that's what I prefer, is having those high volume names. So if we see the pink or magenta, you guys will notice that that is high volume. So we can see that Cheapo Watch stocks under $1. You won't see anything over $1 on this list. Gives us a heads up on some of these moves before they really start to get cooking. Next to that, we have the major red flag watch, which is exactly that. We're going to see a couple different alerts on here. The major red spotter, that's going to let us know that there was a major red candle, something 4% negative or greater, and something we want to be notified about and be careful about before we get into the trade, as we want to assess those conditions and adjust our approach accordingly. Next to that, we have the bullish vertical trend. So it's also going to identify if this stock is in a bullish vertical trend. And if so, we may again want to adjust our approach and our approach into this entry, as we know these conditions beforehand. So that's a major red flag watch. Top right, no changes here. That's our gap up scanner, going to let us know stocks that are gapping up in the pre-market session. Very important to us gap traders. Below that, we've got the larger float high of day. So HOD for high of day. And this is exactly that. It's going to have a higher float size, which the float is listed on all of these scans. And you can see that the alert is in green, which again lets us know that this is a stock making new highs. So it's not exactly volume. What it is a larger float name that is making new highs. So important scanner here if you're looking for larger float names. Below that, we have the bullish momentum large float. So it's exactly the same as this bullish momentum over here. So it's volume we definitely want to be aware of, but we want to keep in mind this is a larger float name and not my typical trade that I love to take, because I do love lower float names myself. Down below, see behind this confirmation strategy here, the halt and resume scanner. Going to let us know when stocks halt and when they resume as well. So very self-explanatory. And of course, the pink and magenta here would be for halt, and the resume or resumption would be in green. So guys, that is it. That is the pre-market layout. Now, I am still back testing a few of these scans. I'm still adjusting, so there may be changes throughout the week. But of course, I want to make sure I notify you guys of any updates that I make. I'm working really hard on this report card. I've got a huge back tester that is just entries are being poured into it, and data is being compiled here, and really just crunching that data is becoming, helping these scans become more efficient. And I love that, because we want to eliminate the BS. You know, guys, anyone can design a scanner that's going to just, spew out anything with volume, but is it something that's high quality or not? These scanners are designed to find the high quality in the market. So guys, I appreciate your time today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, weekend, week, whatever time you're watching this, and I will see you in the chats going forward. Thanks, guys.